Hi guys, my name is Krishna and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see, I'm not in my usual environment. I'm in a different house and that's because I have been doing some traveling. So right now I'm in the UK, so that's why it's a different background. So yeah, I thought this will be the perfect time to do this video, which is about traveling and what's in my travel bag and some tips and hacks as to how to travel efficiently, especially if you're planning to go somewhere abroad during this summer vacations. So let's get on with the video. So first, let's just go through what's in my traveling bag. Your carry-on is definitely something that holds most of the important things, and that is what we are going to talk about today. So generally I like to carry on a nice big sized bag, and backpacks are definitely a lot more comfortable and efficient for traveling, because if you're carrying a huge handbag, then you will probably put things that are way too heavy and then your shoulders will start aching and you won't feel like carrying it. But backpack is just a lot more easier because you can just strap it on your back and just forget about it unless you actually have to take out something. So generally I just like to travel with this backpack. I mean, like, not with this specific backpack, I just happen to use it as a carry-on this time. So this backpack is from H&M. Your essential stuff that is there in your handbag, so your money, your wallet, your sunglasses, etc. Now apart from that, what extra things that I like to carry is very minimal makeup. Now you have to keep this in mind that airlines and airports, they have very specific rules about carrying things in your carry-on. So you can't carry liquids that is above a certain limit and etc. and stuff like that, and obviously some of the makeup tends to be liquid based. So I tend to avoid carrying those things. Like for me, the bare necessities that I like to have as in terms of makeup, an eyeliner and my eyebrow kit, just a nice lip balm. A lip balm is very necessary because if you're having really long flights, then your lips will get chapped. A light lip color, I just like to go with neutral shades. These are the 4 things that I like to have, which are very small, thin products. They are not very heavy to carry. B, they are not liquid based, so which can be easily carried. Then obviously you're going to have your foreign currencies. Even though you're not going to use your foreign currencies in the airport, it is highly recommended to keep it in your carry-on bag itself and not in the main luggage, just for the safety of it not being lost or not being stolen. The next thing that I like to keep in my backpack is some gum, just to keep your breath smelling fresh. So another thing I like to carry in my carry-on backpack is some facial wipes, and it just feels rejuvenated and fresh, especially facial wipes that have some peppermint or like some minty freshness. That will definitely prep up your face, and then you can just go ahead with doing your little bit of makeup tweaks before you're landing. So the next important thing that it should be in your carry-on is your ticket, your itinerary, and all your personal identification like your passport, your license, etc., that you might have to produce to the people in security at the airport. So obviously keeping a ticket in your carry-on is a no-brainer. So try not to overstuff it with other miscellaneous things, so that when you're going to take these out, though your other miscellaneous items fall out, or when you're trying to reach for your miscellaneous items, then your important stuff falls out. So try to avoid that. The next thing I would say is definitely carry some clips and rubber bands, and not too many, just 1 clip and 1 rubber band. Just if you're someone like me who just likes to keep their hair open, just never brushes their hair and just put it in a bun or something, sometimes, especially when you're boarding, since you just have so many things to take care of, your hair can get in the way. So just keep a clip in handy so that you can just clip it and then just take it off and stuff like that. And last but not the least, I like to carry all my electronic devices on my backpack, which is my phones and my headphones. Nothing else more than that. I don't like to carry my charge. It's just a matter of not over hoarding my backpack, so that is just a lot more convenient. Only when I'm waiting to board the flight, I'll just go through some things and use the airport Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But yeah, I try not to use it, or at least not to use it as much as that I might have to put it on charge again. So yeah, last but not the least, I put my phones and my headphones. The headphones, even though I might not use it, but I still like to have it on my carry-on, just because it's a lot more convenient and stuff like that. So yeah, that was all the things that I have on my carry-on bag. Now, one more additional thing that I carried apart from my carry-on backpack was my camera bag, because obviously, being a blogger, I have to travel with my camera so that I can capture things and so that I can make videos in wherever I am. So apart from that, I was also carrying my camera. So these were all the things that I was having on my carry-on, that I usually have on my carry-on when I travel. And now let's move on to some tips and hacks. I can't exaggerate how essential it is to web check-in every time you're going to board a flight, is because nowadays like flights, I mean, even if you ask, they tend to not give you your preferred seat. But lines are generally a lot shorter and it goes by a lot quicker because you already have your boarding pass with you. So you just have to check in your luggage and just go. You already have your gate number and everything just ready. My tip number 2 is scan your itinerary and scan your passport and your additional documents, everything that you might have to produce at the airport. Scan it and send an email to yourself, so that just in case, if something happens, if something unfortunate has happened, that you might have lost it or you might have misplaced it, at least you have something to show. Now, I don't know if this will actually help you board the flight even if you don't have a ticket, but it can definitely save a lot of inconvenience that is going to cause you because you've lost your ticket. Okay, so moving on to tip number 3. Now this one is for some specific group of people, for people like me who use contact lenses. Now it is highly recommended, even if your journey is as short as 1 hour, I would definitely recommend you not wear your contact lenses on your flights and just go with your glasses, and maybe you can just put them on just before you're going to land if you really want to go out with your contact lenses and not your glasses. And this is because flights tend to have less oxygen, and there are already so many people, and your eyes and your contact lenses are something that does require a sufficient amount of oxygen so that it doesn't get dry and stick to your pupils and all that stuff. So to avoid all that hassle, I mean, I'm sure some of you guys who wear contact lenses would have noticed that if you board it on your flight and when you're getting down, your eyes feel a little itchy and they feel a little dry. So just to avoid those scenarios, just don't wear your contact lenses on your flights, and maybe you can just have it on your carry-on and wear it right before you're going to land. The last and final tip is again something to do with your ticket. Now, I would definitely recommend you keeping your copy of tickets, your passport and all the other documents in your main luggage too, just in case luggages are misplaced. So it's highly recommended that you keep each copies of your important documents, your itinerary, everything in your main luggages too, just to avoid situations like this. So those were my tips, and moving on to the last part, I'm going to share some hacks that could probably make your traveling a little more easier and a lot more safer. So let's move on to the last part of the video, which is the hacks. Hack number 1 is that try to avoid wearing sneakers, boots, anything that requires closed shoes, and try avoid wearing belts, just because sometimes they might ask you to take them off, and it just especially if you're in a hurry, it'll just delay everything and it'll just be a huge hassle. Hack number 2 is try to avoid taking your laptop in your carry-on if it's possible. Like if you do not need your laptop in your flight, if you're not going to work on something, then just try to avoid it, because again, with the security check-in that they ask you to take it out, even though nowadays they don't ask you to check it out, but it's just one of those things that makes your carry-on very heavy. This time I was able to avoid carrying my laptop on my carry-on, and I put it in my main luggage, and I can't tell you how convenient it was during the security check, because I just didn't have all those things to keep me around. I could just put it and just go through it, and I just came out a lot faster. So the last and final hack is for people who are not very comfortable flyers. Spritz some of the scent in a handkerchief or a piece of cloth, so that you can just keep it near your mouth area when you feel like vomiting or anything like that. Scents are generally proven to help you counter that effect. Now generally I am a very easy flyer. I do not feel any of these things, and this is just something that I've noticed, that or I've spoken to some people and they've told me that this is what they prefer doing, and I just thought it was such a great idea for me to share with you guys if you're someone who gets very nervous while flying. I really hope you guys found some tips that were interesting, and let me know in the comments down below if you are going to fly somewhere, and I will see you guys next time in my next video. And the giveaway announcement, I might not do it in this video, but I will definitely do it in my next video, and I'm very excited, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.